With a final chance to qualify into the Super Crown World Championship next month, the world's best skateboarders have returned to Japan, one of the most densely populated areas on Earth. It's famous for its historic shrines, temples, anime and manga, extreme fashion, and for producing the next generation of premier skateboarders. Today we're inside Ariake Arena for the knockout rounds of Stop 7 of the 2024 Street League Championship Tour. It's SLS Tokyo, presented by Nikon. It's gonna be a busy day of skateboarding here with the world's best taken to this course. And you're gonna wanna stay with us all day long. There's a look at the streaming schedule. Got women's and men's knockout rounds coming up shortly. And then tonight, the finals in both. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'm Paul Zitzer, along with Sean Malto. Sean, once again, a giant day of skateboarding. There's a lot of pressure on a few of these skaters in particular, though, here today.
I mean, there's a lot on the line. Like you were saying, this is the last regular season stop. So the top 10 automatically make it into the Super Crown. And then the top 3 make it automatically into the finals in the Super Crown, which is huge. And we have the young Brazilian superstar, Rayssa Leal, in that bubble spot in 3rd place, only by 5 points.
Let's take a look at the current standings for the season with Liz Akama up on top with 300 points, and then Chloe Covell and Rayssa Leal in 2nd and 3rd. Right now, they're shoe-ins for the final at the Super Crown, but they're gonna have to hold on to those spots. Everybody else will be fighting to get in there. Anyone outside the top 10 is gonna need to improve to have a chance to make it down to Sao Paulo next month for the Super Crown. There's 2 knockout rounds today in this women's competition. Group number 1 will feature Mariah Duran coming in first, followed by Coco Yoshizawa, Funa Nakayama, Rayssa Leal, and Liz Akama. Knockout round group number 2. Another stacked round. Nanaka, Fujisawa, Aoi, Uemura, Yumeka Oda, Momiji Nishiya, 4 Japanese skaters in a row, and then Chloe Covell will be rounding out that second group. So Sean, the question is, who are you liking out here to advance and do well, possibly win it all?
I really love Momiji's skating. She's so smooth, she's a strong skater. She just dropped a video part 2, which I'm really excited to see. And I think her technical skating here, this course suits her well.
I'm going with Liz Akama. She is currently ranked number 1 on the season. So far in 2024, she won Apex Las Vegas, skating the Beverly 9, and she's made every single final. She almost won in Sydney. She got 2nd. She's ripping, and she can do all the tricks. She could win.
She's really, really good.
There's a look at the skaters warming up on this course. Once again, this course designed and built by California Skate Parks. Sean, you had a little bit of time to roll around and look at the course down there. What are you thinking?
I love it. I think the course is great. I feel like it's got a really good response from most of the skaters. And it's cool. You can skate everything a little differently. You know, there's bump to rails, or you can just go straight to the rail. I think it suits a lot of people. But yeah, I think it's really sick, and everyone's having fun out there.
Where do skaters need to head to get the big points?
So that is what makes this place cool. There's big points kind of everywhere.
This is what's happened so far this season. We kicked things off in Paris, France back in February. Chloe Covell won, Aurelien Giroux won in front of his home crowd. Then we hit Apex stop number 1. There was Liz Akama up in first. Yuto grabbed the win there on the men's side. Then we moved on to San Diego. It was Rayssa, and then Braden Hoban getting it done in front of his hometown crowd. Then we hit 2 more Apex stops. And then we were in Sydney, and now The final regular season stop before we head down to the Super Crown in Brazil. We are in Tokyo, Japan this weekend. Now let's talk about how Street League works with the basics. There are two sections to Street League, the line section and the single trick section. Each skater gets 2 45-second line attempts, followed by 5 single trick attempts. A skater's top 4 scores count towards their final. They can take a maximum of 1 line score, but it's not required. And the top 3 skaters from each group advance. Let's meet the skaters from group number 1 here in the knockout round. Mariah Duran, first in from Albuquerque, New Mexico. She's only skated 1 SLS stop this year, missed the final by 1.
Next in after her, Coco, Yoshizawa from Japan.
She's got that Olympic gold medal under her belt this year.
It's nice to have.
Funa Nakayama, our favorite front crooker from Japan. She's ranked 5th currently.
Another one that's used to winning as well. A couple medals in the Olympics. Rayssa Leal from Brazil.
And wrapping up, Group 1 will be Akama. She's made every final this year. She got 2nd in Sydney. She is looking for her first Street League win here today in front of her hometown crowd. Before we get to the skating, let's check in with the 3rd member of our team, Andrew Cannon.
Thanks, Paul. I'm going to be your eyes and ears down here on the course, getting all the tea, letting you know what's happening. Now, this is our last stop on the road to the Super Crown here in Tokyo, and the pressure is going to be on for some of these skaters. Some of them have to make the finals if they have a shot of getting into Super Crown. Mariah Duran is one of those skaters. I got to talk to her before the contest got cracking, and she said she really likes the course, okay? She likes the rails. There's some good stuff out there, and I'm excited to see what she brings. But the question is, can she handle the pressure? They got to sit down and talk to her about it in this Pro Perspective presented by Cup Noodles. Let's check it out.
I like being in Japan for sure. I've been out here since I'm 14, so I was able to like explore, shop a little bit, kind of just kick it, get used to the time. Like, you didn't come to Tokyo, I feel like you missed out at this point. I think the course is sick. I like how it's very like rectangle, so it kind of just gives space to go back and forth. Different obstacles for sure, so that's awesome to see what goes down on it. Every time we pull up to some courses like this, like they're so street oriented that you're curious as to see like, it's not just a regular down rail, it's like a bump over gap or like out ledge. Like, it's so cool to see everybody adjust to it. I think all of them at this point are like figuring out their runs. I've just always been a fan of Momiji. She's killing it out there. Rayssa has been killing it. Coco has been killing it. I mean, all of them. Yeah, I try to put together a run that I'm excited on, you know, kind of have fun out there. It'd be rad to make a finals. I guess just stay on the board, have fun, see what happens.
She mentioned the time change and getting used to it. That's tough, right? Show up here halfway around the world and try to skate.
Jet lag is real.
Yeah. Mariah Duran in for her first of 2 runs here in Tokyo. Starting out safe. So the top 3 skaters in each of these groups advance. What's the smart strategy, knowing that 3 out of 5 in each group?
Yeah, you know, I will say Mariah's an OG. She skated a lot of contests. She kind of knows how to play the game. The hard part here is her group is so stacked. I mean, you have an Olympic gold medalist. You have Rayssa, which is one of the best ever. Funa skates a ton, and then Akama. She's in the #1 spot, so I think you have to come out firing if you're Mariah.
At the same time, you have to stay on, because consistency is so key these days.
Yep. That's the thing, though. Everybody's consistent.
Right.
That's the hard part.
Taking another look, that was her first trick. That's about a 7-foot-long gap, and it's about 3 feet on the landing. Coming in next, from Japan, Coco Yoshizawa. As we mentioned, Olympic gold in Paris. One of her only wins anywhere in international skateboarding. Just came out, handled it. Interestingly, I thought, is she did it wearing knee pads.
She did it wearing knee pads, and I watched that one live, actually.
Yeah, it's wild, right? Try to do a kickflip with knee pads on. It's hard to do.
Very hard to do, but you know, you have to stay safe out there.
She's living a little more dangerously now, though. Wow. Could have used the knee pad right there.
Could have used the knee pad.
Let's talk about how long that rail is. She just big spin front boarded down.
It is so long, and the hard part is it's really low. So if you go fast, it makes it a little awkward. You want to go fast to make it to the bottom, but yeah, you kind of have to go a little slower and just deal with it.
1.9 score. Mariah Duran up in first with a 2.5. Funa Nakayama on deck. So far this year, she's made 3 finals. Her best finish was 3rd in Sydney last month.
I love starting out with the big section, or a bigger obstacle, I will say, but. Oh, crook back lip.
That's new for her. Same, the hubba and the rail equally as long.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same dimensions. I think jumping on the hubba makes it a little safer than a long round rail, but both pretty scary.
Front blunt fakie.
You know, not the run that she wanted, but at least that should get her into that first spot.
It's a big front board. So that's about a 5-foot drop from the top of that ledge to flat.
I like the lines. She went big, and then she went straight to a tech trick.
Almost a little kid trick.
Yeah. I mean, it's a contest.
Stay on, make it. On deck, as we mentioned, surprisingly in 3rd place right now, overall season points. Rayssa Leal, she can change all that so fast.
Yeah, she doesn't. She just needs to stay there. It's not like she has to go up or down at all, especially for the Super Crown being in Sao Paulo and Brazil, her home country. She's going to want to have that pressure dropped of just being automatically into the finals.
I think, look at that.
I mean, she's doing such a good run right now.
Everything she has done so far has been so proper. That counts for so much. Linking the tricks, doing hard tricks on every spot. That's the way she skates.
Oh.
Despite that last trick, fantastic run. Going for it.
Hope she's okay. It looked like her. Yeah, she looks all right. But yeah, textbook run. Front blunt across the long rail. Just hitting the no slide just to get to this kickflip back lip in the middle of the line.
$7.2. Huge score. Way up on top after her first run. Liz Akama in next. Currently ranked #1 season points. Winner of Apex Las Vegas, skating that Beverly Hills Nines there. She has a really deep bag of tricks, a lot of variety. I think she's the next skater to win one that hasn't already. We'll see.
Yeah, she's definitely very solid.
Nice frontside big spin over the bump to bump.
She has the gift to be able to scoop the frontside big spins, almost like the backside big spins.
Back 50 after time. You heard the buzzer. She placed second in the Olympics. She was right there, almost a gold medalist. You can see why.
Such a good kickflip.
.6.0, good enough for second place. Back to the top of the order, Mariah Duran. She really is much more of a raw street skater than a lot of the skaters you're seeing out here today.
Yeah, she goes on a lot of core skate filming trips.
And does any of that help when you show up at Street League?
I mean, I've always felt like if you're in the streets and skating good in the streets, and you show up here, there's a level of confidence because everything is perfect. And, you know, if you're skating well on something that's not perfect, you can come here and skate well on the things that are absolutely flawless. But the game's changed over the years, you know, with the Olympics, and people actually train now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Here's my counterpoint. I think you're totally right. But when you're out in the streets, you're typically not skating at a highly consistent level.
No, yeah, you're not trying to land 7 tricks in a row when you're filming.
And you almost, in a way, you can learn to be inconsistent.
Yeah.
You're just not used to landing all your tricks.
You usually have a few hours to land one trick.
Right, right. And you're stoked if you do it.
100%.
So it is a different game when you're skating against people that train all the time to do one contest run. It's a lot to face off against.
And I guarantee you, Coco is training.
Yeah, for sure. Coco back in for her second run. She's in 5th place with that 1.9 first run score.
Ooh, dipped back Smith across the round bar.
Setting up for her last trick.
Wow. I mean, there's that championship level that we're used to seeing from her.
You could see how long she had to hold that big spin front board to make it.
That is a scary big spin front board, but I really like this. Dipping that backsmith all the way across the rail. The Nikon replay.
Way to hang on.
Yeah, that is a solid 10 feet of sliding.
Good enough for first place for Coco Yoshizawa. Bumping Leal down into second. Remember, top 3 skaters from each group advance to the final. You do not want to be in 4th or 5th at this point, but you can make up all the ground in single tricks. Funa Nakayama on deck in 4th place with a 3.8. She's going to have to stay on.
Oh.
That's not going to help. Obviously, it's going to put a lot of pressure on her in the single tricks.
Especially since that 3rd place spot is at a 6.0.
We do know, though, that Funa excels in single tricks. She's got the front crook. She's got the back over crook.
She's been learning some new ones, too, with the heel flip from boards.
But pressure's on. Rayssa Leal, 2-time defending Super Crown champ. Right now, she's trying to set herself up to get down to Sao Paulo in the top 3 with a spot in the final.
Oh. That's the other thing about how long these hubbas and rails are, is it's hard to get a consistent wax through the whole ledge. Because you're sitting on it for so long, it can get grabby quick.
You know, it's interesting. Rayssa finished 4th in Sydney. She finished 2nd in Paris. She won San Diego. Those are great results, but for her, kind of a marginal year so far. Because we've seen her sweep before.
Yeah.
So if she's not winning everything, it's a little bit of a surprise. I mean, this is skateboarding, though, still. Skateboarding is really hard, and at this level, it's next to impossible.
And the rise in this women's contest has been amazing. I mean, Liz Akama, Coco, Chloe, they all had to up their level because of Rayssa. But still, I think Rayssa would trade all the stops she didn't win for a Super Crown championship.
It would make it 3 in a row for her.
Ooh, 3-peat.
How about this? Rayssa has won 7 of the last 11 SLS events. All right, we got Liz Akama back in. She's currently in 3rd place with a 6 in her first run. I don't want to put any bad juju out there, but last year here in Tokyo, Liz got destroyed. Do you remember the barley grind on the Nikon sign?
Oh my God, yeah.
So huge recovery from her to make it back here and be ranked #1.
Yeah, she got buckled off the top ropes.
You know, that was one of those slams where you're like, you might decide not to skateboard anymore.
It was bad.
It was bad.
But she looks strong now.
Strong as ever.
Yeah.
Liz trying to improve on a 6. Does this run do it?
You know, it's kind of virtually the same run that she did. Yeah. I think it's probably going to be right around the same. But a 6 right now with Funa and Mariah kind of in that 2.5, 3.8 range.
5.7, no improvement. She'll stay in 3rd. With the run section in the books, let's check in with Liz about what has inspired her to skate over the years. Check it out in this Monster Energy in Passing.
名前は赤間リズです。 始めた年は7歳から始めました。スケボーを始めようと思ったきっかけは、お父さんがもともとサーフィンをやっていて、遊びでサーフスケートっていうボードに乗ってて、怖いんですけど、その決まった時の達成感とかを感じて、すごい楽しいなって思って、そこから本格的にスケボーを始めたいと思ってやってった感じですね。始めてすぐ刺激を受けたスケーターは西村織ちゃんで、日本人の女子で、その時はすごいもう今はもうレジェンドで、しかもいろんな道を切り開いてくれた人だと思ってるし、最近だと一般の人も、オリンピックとかそういう大会を見てくれて知ってくれたりだとか、日本人の女子でもすごい上手い子がたくさんいるので、スケートパーク作ってくれたりだとか、あとはそういうスケボーに協力してくれる街だったりとかも増えてきて、例えば自分だったらその地元古川近くのパークにもっと作っていいよっていうセクションを作ったりだとか、自分のパークじゃないけどそういうのを作らせてもらったりとかしてるので、そういう部分は特別なスペースというかなのかなとは思いますね。今後の自分の目標は、もちろん大会でいい成績を残すことももちろんなんですけど、今後はストリートとかも行ってみたいなと思ってるので、ストリート撮影とかして、いつか自分のパートとかも出せるように頑張っていきたいなっていうのは思ってますね。
The Japanese skate culture here is strong, maybe the strongest in the world. Don't tell that to Brazil. Rayssa Leal there getting worked on as we head into single tricks.
It did look like that back leg kind of got wrapped up a little bit.
There's your leader, Coco Yoshizawa, as we head into single tricks. You're watching Street League Tokyo. Street League Skateboarding is brought to you by Nikon, making a better world with trust and creativity. By Kona Big Wave, bring the aloha. By Kariuma, old school sneaker, new school ethics. By G-Shock, the official timekeeper of Street League Skateboarding. And by Bank of Brazil, proud sponsor of SLS. Here's a look at the tour schedule this season. So many stops, so many winners. Rayssa Leal has stood atop the podium many times here at SLS. We were able to catch up with her yesterday during practice. Check it out in this Cup Noodles Pro Perspective.
I really like to be in Tokyo because it reminds me the first Olympics. That was super cool too. It's really good to be here with everybody, with my team too. We go out, we went to Shibuya and buy some gifts for my little brother. I think this course is a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. The long rail and the hubba. I think the line is gonna be good because have the flow. The big size is gonna be crazy. I'm really excited to the Supercrown Brazil because I'm gonna be there with my family and my friends. Everyone is going there to see like how we skate, you know, how the level is. I really wanna have fun and skate good because I can like count the 3 in a row. And in Brazil.
3 in a row, that would be nice. Here's a look back at Super Crown World Champions from over the past few years. Look at that. It's all Brazil, the last 4. Rayssa Leal twice, Pamela Rosa twice. And then Ari Nishimura way back in 2018, last Japanese skater to win it.
But we heard Liz Akama's interview that Aori inspired her to get into skating. It's pretty sick.
That is cool. Legend. Now we got a re-rack coming into single trick attempts. Based on current standings after the lines, Mariah Duran will be first in, followed by Funa, Nakayama, Liz, Akama, Rayssa, and then Coco. Finishing things off. 5 single trick attempts per skater. This is the first of 5. Mariah Duran, first in.
Wow.
Heavy.
Very heavy.
For some perspective, that gap is, just by a guesstimate from standing over, it's about 10 feet long. And that Nikon sign is about halfway through it, and it's level with takeoff at least.
Yeah, that Nikon sign just makes it a little more awkward than a standard gap. Mariah just perfect flick, catch.
Flipping the board down a gap versus going to the hub or rail.
A lot could go wrong when you flip your board, especially down a gap. You could do everything right and still wheel bite.
I love that score.
7-0. This is going to be really interesting because this course, there's so many points and so many different obstacles that I wonder how the judges are going to score it. That's kind of like all the skaters are curious because there's not one definitive big section, you know?
Based on the number of falls we've seen so far on the long rail and the long hubba, I would think now the judges are starting to get an idea that if anybody makes anything, it might be worth a lock. Front feeble for Liz.
Perfect front feeble. For Liz, that is basically a kick turn.
Another look, locked, easy. .9. That's a big score.
It's a big score. You see, like, the front feeble down the rail scores just as good, almost just as good as kickflip over the Nikon sign. So it's a, you know, little, it's close.
Rayssa, we saw her getting worked on before the break. Is she healthy enough to get it done?
Yep.
Of course. Wow. That score is going to be huge. Should be.
Yeah, that should be a big score. A long front blunt. Done perfect. Getting a little bit of air foot coming out of that.
So Rayssa trying to bump up from 4th. She will be doing that. In the lead with a 15.1 overall score. That's 7.9 is the highest score of the day so far. Coco Yoshizawa in. What do you think, backsmith versus front feebs?
You know, I think it's the same.
Okay.
It's half and half. I personally think backsmiths are easier, but a lot of other people think that front feebles are easier. I think it just depends on who you are. But
so let's go with a 6.9.
I think this has to be a 6.9, pretty much the same. See what the judges think here.
Oh, they think
Backsmith.
backsmith is 1/10 of a point better. Yeah, 7. Back to the top of the order, Mariah Duran for her second of 5 attempts. Where does she go from here? Her signature move.
I love it. Mariah's just hucking.
That's a big hard flip. She's outside the top 3, so she is going to have to make it and keep going. But first, Funa Nakayama in for her second of 5. Currently in 5th place. There we go. Clean.
Clean. This is our first hubba trick in the trick section. Just a long pinched crooked grind. I look like it felt good.
So 5.8 for the crook on the hubba. Akama sitting in 3rd, trying to stack points. She's doing it. Consistency is high with this one. She knows she's playing the game.
That is a 7.0 backsmith on the long rail.
Liz up in 1st, 19.9. Andrew, what do you got for us?
So it sounds like Rayssa basically on that nose grind, her knee's just feeling a little loose. Carlos Ribeiro said she came over, was speaking a little Portuguese, and was basically just like, it's feeling a little loose, so she's been getting worked on. But hopefully it's just a little thing and we don't see it flare up as we continue. Back to you.
Indeed.
That's such a bad feeling, though, when everything's not as strong as it should feel. Can mess with your mind a little bit.
She's not scaling down the difficulty at all. Trying that back tail.
Yeah, that's another thing, that long hubba, like I was saying, a lot can go wrong when you're sitting on something. The wax, your weight gets a little off balance, just makes it a lot harder.
And we've talked about this in the past, how these courses are always new. They're never broken in.
No.
So maybe if people skated this for the next month, that hubba would be perfect.
Yeah, it would get a little more consistent, but right now it's like every time you wax it, every slide, it just takes off so much. You got to just keep waxing it, keep it consistent.
Mariah, does she go back for this hard flip? If she does, she's going to need to make it.
Oh, that's what you're talking about right there. It's not short, it's long. She hung up in the rock bed.
Funa in a very similar situation right now, sitting on that 9.6 overall. 47% consistency.
Based on the top 3 that's set right now, Funa's going to have to go 3 for 3.
Oh, I like that choice. That is a tall drop, but getting stuck.
That is definitely overhead high for her.
Akama, comfortable lead. Trying to get her 3rd of 5 single trick scores. Oh, wow, that was nice.
I mean, especially since we were talking about how bodied she got last year here on the Nikon side.
She locked in straight away and held it. There was nothing happening all the way.
Nah, barely moved. Once she locked in, she was just stuck. Takes a lot of confidence.
I'm confident to say she'll be skating in the finals tonight with that 8.1. Now she's got a 28 overall score. Rayssa.
It's getting stuck on that back tail again. Rayssa's still sitting in second place.
If she doesn't make one of her next couple of tries, though, she could get caught by anyone in this heat.
I think that's where Funa has to kind of look at that. Just try to put something down, just a little bit of pressure on Rayssa.
Wow. I thought Coco might just be playing it safe, do a nose slide and get the points. Nope, not safe, sticking it.
No slide, shove around behind her.
Perfect landing. .9 good enough to move Coco into second place. Rayssa now in that bubble spot. Funa and Mariah well within striking distance, but they got to make the tricks.
Mariah at least had the speed down on that one.
Funa, let's see if we get this front crook on that bump to ledge over the rock gap. Wow. She was floating on the way down. Touch and go.
Perfect front crook. See, this is like what I'm saying. What is that bump to ledge with the big drop score more than a front crook, say, on the hubba or the long round rail? It's just so different. It's kind of hard to figure it out, but we'll get a good sense of the judging off this trick right here.
.3.
Yeah. They're scoring that very well.
That's the highest score we've seen so far today. That says a lot.
I think that's something for everybody to kind of pay attention to moving forward, too.
Current leader, what she got? 2 tries left. It's a long barley.
That is a long barley.
She'll make it on her last try. Rayssa's got to stay on. Oh, playing it real smart.
So smart.
Still not easy. That's a long front lip. But, I mean, she made it look like real easy.
I mean, for her, this is nothing. Especially after that front blunt. Just lip slide, get some points on.
Give herself a little bit of distance.
Yeah.
So 20.1. Good enough for third. So the pressure's back on Funa and Mariah.
That's going to set her up after this re-rack as well.
Looks like Liz and Coco might be a pretty safe spot here.
Huh. Missing that front board.
So we're going to re-rack once again for the final single trick attempts here in the knockout group 1. This is the 5th of 5 single trick attempts. Mariah Duran once again will be first in. Liz Akama will have final say. It's based on current standings with one try to go.
So that was so smart for Rayssa just to lip slide, get herself into this third spot for the re-rack, and now she gets to kind of see what she needs to do to qualify.
There's a chance she doesn't need to do a thing.
Exactly.
All right. This is for the love and the homies. It's not happening. That's a little shout out to Jeff Rowley. That was his line. Anytime somebody was just out of it and going for it.
I love that.
I do too.
Jeff Rowley, a legend.
Last skater who has a chance to shake things up here, Funa Nakayama, needs to land her trick to get into that top 3. All she needs is a 2.3, but she's still going to have to do something way better than that, because then you already know Rayssa would just turn around and do something easy also. We're talking about just trying to get low scores. Where do you think we're going to end up points-wise?
Well, front lip got a 5. Back lip is a lot harder. Getting the back truck up and over, sliding backwards. I think this is probably going to be in that mid-6 range. Maybe low 6, something like that, which is going to put pressure on Rayssa. Not a lot of pressure, but some.
6.2. Funa Nakayama moves into second place. Rayssa Leal now in 4th. And this is for top 3 advancing into the final. If you're 4th or below, you watch from the sidelines.
So 2.7. I mean, she just needs to land basically anything.
Sometimes that can be a weird position to be in, right?
Very weird.
Because all of a sudden, an easy trick can feel really difficult. Here we go. She goes for the back tail and sticks it.
Which is way more than she needed. I was actually thinking she was just going to do a cricket grind.
We've talked for years about how clutch Rayssa is. And there you go. One more example.
And watch this in this Bank of Brazil replay. She hopped out early. You can see it kind of stuck. I think if this was a try before, she bails it. But if she needs to land it, she just pulls out a little early just to make sure she can land.
That's why she's such a legend. Because she didn't do the 50-50 down the ledge to get the 2 points. She goes for the back tail, makes it 8.1.
You would have seen most people, including myself, would have just 5-0'd that up and called it a day.
Coco now in 4th place. She needs a 1.5. She's going to get it. Frontside board slide down the long rail. And Funa Nakayama is not going to want to see that score come in.
Yeah, I mean, Funa did all that she could in the position that she was in. It's just Coco and Rayssa, they're just too clutch. And they're too smart. They just know how to play the game.
And you got to be really good to play the game.
You got to be exceptionally good to play the game.
Most people out here would just be trying to do anything. But when you can adapt your skating to the judging, it says a lot.
I mean, that's kind of how it's been going all throughout these years. Now that there's coaches and training, they start to pay attention to exactly the points that they need just to qualify, have a chance for tomorrow.
So Liz in 2nd place needs a 6.3 to take that lead. I think she's content, not worrying about it, moving on to the final, and then she'll turn it up tonight.
Yeah, I said tomorrow. It's actually tonight. It's a long day today.
Super long day. Great day. I like when it's knockout rounds straight into the final.
Just action.
Keep the flow going.
Yeah.
You know how some days you have the day of your life skating, and then the next day, you're almost like, oh no, I skated too good yesterday.
It is hard to keep the rhythm going 2 days in a row.
So the top 3 from women's knockout round, group number 1 is set. Rayssa Leal getting it done with her final trick. 28.2 overall score. And Akama and Coco Yoshizawa, 2 skaters from Japan, moving on to tonight's final. Unfortunately, Funa and Mariah Duran will not be skating. We have 1 more knockout round still to come. But first, 3 skaters qualified into the final from Group 1. Rayssa, Liz, Coco. 3 more will be coming in Group number 2. Coming up next. Here are the skaters in Group number 2. Nanaka, Fujisawa, Aoi Uemura, Yumeka Oda, Momiji Nishiya, and Chloe Covell from Australia. Final skater of the day here in the women's knockout rounds. Each of these 5 skaters will also be trying to make the 3 cut to tonight.
Such a stacked heat, back to back.
There is Chloe Covell, warming up. So much has gone down in this 2024 season. Let's take a trip back to see how it's all gone down in the look back, presented by Kariyuma. Welcome back to the 2024 SLS Championship Tour from Tokyo. What an absolutely incredible city. I mean, you could stay busy for the rest of your life down there. Looking for spots, having great times, eating the best food in the world, sushi for days. We are inside Ariake Arena. This is SLS Tokyo, presented by Nikon. Women's knockout round, group number 2 coming up. 4 Japanese skaters, followed by 1 from Australia. Great lineup. Now we're gonna throw it down to Andrew Cannon.
Thanks, Paul. We've got an incredible course behind me. We've got longer rails, longer hubbas than we've been seeing. And in that first knockout round, we saw Coco do that big spin front board, and you could just see how long she had to hold on to it for. It's really amazing. Sean Malto got to skate it yesterday during practice, so let's hear him break it down in this course preview presented by Rumble Sports.
What's up? I'm Sean Malto, and this is the course preview presented by Rumble. This thing is actually my favorite. You can go across this way or across and down this way. Braden Helbin, flat bar extraordinaire. These square bars are actually a little taller than what it looks. But the cool thing, this long Nikon sign, go bump to it and do the whole thing over the stairs or just kind of skate it as an out ledge. I feel like most people are gonna go the distance though. All right, well, he handled that. Bump to double-sided weird ledge up top. I'm definitely not skating this. There we go. I feel like everything here has a couple different ways to skate it, which is nice. This bump, you can go over, you can go onto the hubba, the long ledge, or you can skate as a little shorter ledge. The square bars, you can bump to the square bars, but that's really gnarly. The little crosswalks, like Shibuya Crossing on the course, pretty sick. So last but not least, the center focus of the whole course, this Nikon sign. The runway kind of comes in the middle, so it makes it a little less long, but you have to gap over the sign, over the rock bed. Pretty tall drop, a lot of really cool lines shaping up. It's kind of good for runs. There's a lot of cool singles options, and I think it's gonna make for an amazing contest.
Now it's time to meet the skaters in group number 2. First in will be Nanaka Fujisawa from Japan. Kind of a veteran here at age 23.
Getting her back. Aoi Iwamura from Japan as well, age 15.
This is almost the all-Japanese knockout round. Yumeka Oda, ranked number 4th. She's trying to step it up and earn her spot on that top 3 Super Crown final. Can she do it? We'll see.
And then my pick to make it out of this round, Momiji Nishiya, one of the sickest skaters out here, one of the best styles.
And then Chloe Covell. I mean, she's been on a tear. She won Sydney last month for the 2nd time. She won Paris back in February, 2nd in San Diego. Can she keep it going here in Tokyo? I'm gonna guess the answer is yes, but I'm gonna look forward to watching her prove it again and again.
That's a solid, educated guess. Chloe is.
She's been so unstoppable.
He has been dialed in.
Hey, as a point of reference, she's skated in 8 SLS Arena Tour stops. She's made all 8 finals, and she's won 4 of them. So she's 50% at winning.
50%?
That's heavy duty.
Batting at 500 is pretty good.
Nanaka Fujisawa in for her first of 2 runs, and she is off her board. So that rail really is proving to be kind of a beast.
Yeah, it's really scary. It is. I mean, I did the course preview and I wanted to skate it a little bit, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
What would be your ultimate move on that rail today? Like if you had to, not.
I mean, the ultimate move that I would love to do would be the back over crook to revert.
Okay, yeah.
But that's putting a lot of danger in factor.
Yeah. Sounds like a claim, though. We'll get you out there later to do it. I like that. I'm just kidding. I like that shout out to Shibuya Crossing, though. That was good.
It's cool, right? It's a nice touch.
It was. On deck, Aoi Uemura for her first of 2. There we go. Front board to kick things off. Was that hurricane or just extended front board?
She was trying to do Bennett back to regular and just missed the truck. So front board, 2 front boards in a row.
Backlit.
Howie has a really entertaining Instagram. Her progression is so fun to watch.
We know that she is not afraid. She goes. And she's not afraid to wear wild pants.
Definitely not afraid to wear some fits out there. Yeah, it's like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, she was going for that Bennett grind and just missed.
.4.0. Good enough for the lead. Yumeka Oda on deck, ranked 4th. So this is an extremely important event for Yumeka, trying to move up into the top 3 in season points.
Yeah, only 5 points back is feasible.
She won that Apex UCI contest earlier this year. Made finals in Sydney, San Diego, and Paris. See if she can get it done again here in Tokyo. Smart.
Very smart. Solid run.
If we look back at Group 1, there was some strategy at play, but in the end, you couldn't cruise it and expect to make top 3. Even with 5 skaters trying to make a 3 cut, it gets hard. You got to stay on, and you got to put down your best tricks.
100%. And once you get kind of falling back into the bottom of the order, it makes it so much harder.
.9, new leader. Momiji Nishiya.
5.9 is solid.
Momiji won the Olympics when it was in Tokyo, 2021, just cruising, looking so good. She didn't even make it there this year, though.
Which is so crazy. She's one of the best. You know, you just get off track at the wrong time. You know, I don't know how the Olympics, I don't have any pull there, but I will say if you win gold, you should be able to have that title defense, I feel like.
Grandfathered in, yeah.
At least for the next one.
I agree with that. It's also kind of shocking that Momiji has not won. Oh, that was a sick crooks.
Really sick crooks after time.
So Momiji has not won at SLS.
She has to have a lot of second places, though.
She really does. I think she wins the style award at every stop.
Yeah, long board slide there. That was just to set up this crooked grunt. Unfortunately, it was after time. Look at that.
That was nice. Props to the filmers out there, too.
Momiji's video part is dropping on the 26th. Just premiered. Nice. Excited to watch that.
4.7, good enough for second. Chloe Covell, currently ranked second, which is crazy because she's got 2 wins and a second place finish, but she missed out on some of those Apex points. Here we go. Now, we know she's gonna bring it in the single trick section always, but also almost a guaranteed perfect run in her future.
Yeah, I was about to say that I was watching the practice, and she seemed to not be skating the course as well as some of the other skaters, but she figured it out. She obviously figured it out.
You know, there's so many different types of skaters, but some of them don't try to practice their best, right? They just warm up and they save it all.
Yeah. Yuto's like that a lot. There's a few people like that just kind of feel it out and then know what they are capable of doing and then putting it together.
That was an amazing costume.
Chloe has great fans out there. But this front feeble across and down. So risky, but so sick.
Big 180 over the Nikon sign.
Skating over the Nikon sign in the run is risky. She handled it. 6.8 into first place.
So no shock there. When does it go from being fun and games as a young kid to stress and pressure? When does that hit, do you think? Because it doesn't seem like she feels much of it. Maybe there's no answer.
Yeah, I think, you know, as you get older and as we can see, you know, Rayssa used to dominate. And now it's a struggle. I mean, Chloe is that new person applying pressure, and there's always going to be these new people coming up. It's going to get harder and harder. Then pressure from sponsors. That's always tough.
Right, expectations change a lot.
Yeah, it's when you are expected to win, that's when it gets hard. And right now, Chloe, Rayssa, they are expected to win. They are kind of in those top spots, but now we have Akama, Yumeka Oda, Funa, Momiji.
And Nanaka.
Whoa!
I like that. Pop shove 50 coming out early.
That was a real street move. Just take anything.
Casual 50-50. .7. She's going to have to look to her single tricks. Aoi in for her second run. Starting the same with the front board down the big rail. Okay.
There it is.
Bennett
back to regular. You don't see that very often at all.
Shout out to Matt Bennett. I just walked past him in the hallway here in the building, so.
Matt Bennett has graced us with his presence in Tokyo. Aoi did a bump to back nose blunt in Sydney in the best trick contest. And I sent her a message. I was like, that was sick. And then she apologized for putting her hand down on the rollaway. She said, I am sorry for putting my hand down. I was like, that was amazing. Back nose blunt and the bump to rail was perfect. But look at this. This is where the progression gets real here. Bennett grind, back to regular. Right in Matt Bennett's face.
So a great run. No, not a great run. Just a great Bennett. 4.0 and her first run score, 3.0 on her second run score. Yumeka Oda on deck, sitting in second. Look at this consistency, 88%. That's obscene. And it shows in her results, making every final so far this year. Her best finish was a third back in Paris. That was the first stop of the year in February. Feels like a lifetime ago. Been a lot of great skating ever since.
It's been a lot of events, a lot of great skating.
Flip tricks are tough.
That backside flip too. Just the new concrete can be so grippy that if you don't complete the full turn, it's hard to pivot those.
We could hear it.
That crooked grind is so sick.
She's going to stick with that 5.9 from her first line. Two skaters left here in the line section. Momiji Nishiya sitting in third, trying to bump up from a 4.7. High-speed backboard set up for that crook again.
I love that, just starting with that, because she ran out of time on the last run. Solid 50-50. That's really cool to be able to rework your run on the fly like that, just to make sure you fit all the tricks you want into the run.
She hasn't done a lot of tricks. She kept it relatively straightforward. 50-50s, board slide, crook, heel flip.
Yeah, that's just the designed qualify run.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
She's not trying to qualify in first.
No, that's just make sure you're in the top 3 spots.
So her first run was the 4.7, but that crook came after time. .6, so she stays in third, but has a little bit more to work with moving into single tricks. Chloe Covell, leader, getting final say here in the line section of the knockout rounds. Top 3 skaters will be advancing into tonight's final.
Yeah, it would be, that's a nervy one to throw in the middle of your run. Long front feeble. She handled it in the first run. Just getting away from her on the second one. Oh! That was flipped.
That was a slam. Banana peel. She's fine. If you put in a perfect run and then your next run isn't, sometimes it's best to call it because you can't repeat tricks.
Nope.
But it's also good to spend time on, as much time on the course as you can in competition mode to get a sense of what you can and can't land later.
Yeah, and it can be hard to get in a groove sometimes. So, I mean, Chloe is fine. She's still in first place.
She'll stick with that 6.8. Andrew, I've seen you roaming around down there. Who are you with?
I'm down here with an Olympic gold medalist right here, Sky Brown. Sky, how is it being here in Japan? What are you doing here?
So I actually live here. I have a house here, so I'm spending time here with the family, and yeah, I had to stop by here for sure. So
that is amazing. So sorry about that. I said gold. I meant bronze medal. Now, Sky, question: what do you think of watching an event? I mean, you skate in a ton of them. How's it feel?
definitely makes me want to skate. All these girls are ripping and just hypes me up to want to skate. But yeah, I mean, it's fun watching, cheering them on, and yeah, I'm stoked to be here and see all of them. So.
Now the $1 million question. I asked you, you were kind of wrestling with it. Who is your favorite out there? Who's your pick for the win? You can even do a top 3 if you want.
Yeah, okay, top 3, it's probably easier. Covell, of course, Rayssa, and Momiji, but they're all amazing. I mean, it's really hard to pick, but they've got to be my top 3.
Awesome. Well, we love seeing you out here, and thanks for coming by and checking it out. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Andrew. There is your current leader in group number 2 here in the women's knockout round. You're watching Street League Tokyo. We'll be back with the line section right after this. Welcome back to SLS Tokyo, presented by Nikon. So let's take things back 1 year ago here in Tokyo. Chloe Covell was in a must-land scenario on her final trick. If she could land it, she'd clinch her first ever SLS win. Let's check out that moment in the G-Shock time capsule. Talk about clutch. We mentioned Rayssa being a clutch skater. Chloe, right there. She won. That was her first win, and she's won 3 times since.
That switch flip just catapulted her.
Here's the re-rack for group number 2. Single trick section of the knockout round. Nanaka Fujisawa will be skating first because she's currently in 5th in this round, and Chloe Covell will have final say.
All right, so we are getting underway with our single trick section. Tokyo, make some noise.
Nanaka is good at just hucking, going out, throwing down big tricks.
Yeah, and Nanaka won an Apex event, which is a different format. It's all single tricks, so we know that she is capable of pulling through.
Aoi, first of 5 single tricks. Front feeble. What was that earlier, a 6.9?
A 6.9, yeah.
Okay, we'll see if the judges remember.
Sure they got it down.
Shout out to Kelly Hart, Big Cat, Jimmy Grecki, the whole squad.
Mike Mo Capaldi, Billy Marks.
Oh, we got all 5 here, that's right.
All 5.
$6.9.
Veteran judges.
There they are. There's Kelly over there on the right.
Kelly, we got M-Rod making sure everything runs smoothly, but all amazing skaters.
Yeah.
On that judging pad.
I think you could potentially be a decent judge if you weren't an amazing skater, but the better you are, the more you know how hard the tricks are because you've done more of them. Takes one to know one. Momiji Nishiya in So we saw her 50-50 that inner line. She bumps it up with the 5-0.
And based on Funa's trick on that, we do know that they're scoring that bump to ledge really well. I think that's just a smart move. Front 5, get a score down, stay in that top 3.
That's a dangerous skinny ledge up there.
Very dangerous.
6.7. That's a high score for a 5-0.
For a 5-0. You know, I almost wanted to say that that double-sided ledge was a design flaw, but people seem to have skated it really well. So turns out California skate parks knows what they're doing.
We'll see. 6.9 grind.
6.9 grind.
Now I wonder, are they playing the score strategy, or was that Yumeka's plan from the get-go? Gonna front feeble that rail no matter what, or is it, hey, I see what's happening out here, I'm gonna adjust my skating?
I mean, maybe a little bit of both. I feel like Yumeka's always been good at front feebles. Oh,
it's a 7 grind.
Maybe she got on a little higher. I don't know.
Chloe. First of 5 single trick attempts. Heavy. She's so consistent with the flip tricks.
Yeah, she stays really light on her board. Makes it a lot easier to roll away from some of these big gaps.
Is there a difference between being a light person and staying light on your board?
I think so. You know, there are some bigger people that can skate gaps a lot easier, you know, but she is a small person, so that does help a little bit, but she's just graceful.
Technique.
Yeah, it's technique. I feel like the way you kind of bend your knees, you absorb the impact.
7.1. Great score. Back in the lead.
Score is going to be a 7.1, so Chloe will come up in that top 5.
Download TrueSkate on your mobile device and enter the live SLS Tokyo event. Complete all the missions in the event to unlock a virtual replica of today's championship course. Play now to skate the same course as the SLS pros. Antoine landed nice and light.
Yeah.
Big
it's
dude.
Like, it's a bigger guy, but still was able to just kind of absorb the shock. Skated a lot of big gaps, tall drops, and it was fun.
There we go. Nanaka getting that 50-50 this time.
Was that locked in toe side?
It might not have been locked in at all, just like moving around. Let's take another look, hopefully.
It looked like she locked in toe side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Danger zone.
To be able to hold on for that long, that should be extra points. Toe side 50-50.
How about what's front 50 versus, you know, front feeble?
A lot lower. Yeah.
Way less than half.
Yeah.
Ow. Single trick. Attempt number 2, up 5. Backsmith, we saw that get a 7 earlier.
Yeah, just a little higher than the front feeble. Which, you know, you asked me that earlier. Now that I think about it, if you come up short on a backsmith, it is one of the worst slams you can take in skateboarding. If you come up short on the front feeble, at least you're kind of sliding in a front board. So I do agree with the judges. Backsmith should be just a little bit higher.
How many times did you come up short on a backsmith on a substantial rail?
A couple times, enough to not do it again.
Yeah, once bit.
Air on the side of back lip. Yeah, it was actually one of the worst slams I've taken. Yeah. 7-0 for Aoi backsmith the rail.
Momiji needs a 0.7 to move into the top 3. Oh, she knows where the points are. They're up on top of that.
Double-sided ledge.
Double-sided, what'd you call it?
Design flaw.
Design flaw, thank you. I prefer that to double-sided ledge.
Sorry, Jesse, if you're listening.
Boom!
Wow.
Big kickflip out of that launcher.
And not only is that a big kickflip, that was perfect. Super fast flick. And watch how fast this flips.
That was bolts. That's about a 7-foot distance. And then that drop right there is at least 3.
Yeah.
Big kickflip. And especially to do it that perfectly. Needs a 5.1 to move into the lead.
What was the kickflip over the Nikon sign for Chloe?
7.1?
That's a 6.6, okay. Something to pay attention to.
Chloe Covell now had that 7.1 from that first line, or first trick attempt.
2nd of 5 for Chloe. She's got a 56% consistency in the single tricks.
Everybody can front feeble that, huh?
So now we know that's maybe a 7.
So do you think it's a 6.9 or a 7?
I gotta go with 7 now. Score inflation, group 2. That was, couldn't be done, could it be done better? I don't see it. No, 6.9.
Maybe it's where you lock in on the rail.
Yeah,
if it's a little lower versus a little higher.
Do you, maybe if you go slower and you sit on it longer, you it's like a,
Yeah, I don't know.
who knows? We'll talk to the judges tonight. Nanaka Fujisawa. She needs to make some tricks and get some big scores. It's where she's at right now, isn't getting it done. Whoa!
Oh my God.
That is a dangerous trick.
That is by far the scariest trick I've seen tried on that rail.
That's a long rail. The straight up pop shove 50.
Long round rail too.
Yes. Beautiful. Aoi, back lip.
Yeah, now she's just playing the game. Just land some tricks, get some scores, keep herself in the top 3.
Six-two. So Aoi has 4 solid scores posted. Her lowest score is that 4 from the line section. She could drop that next. I don't know if she's even going to need to. Momiji Nishiya coming in next. Needs a 7.3 to move into a spot that could potentially make it into the final.
Didn't like that drop in.
You got to have a pretty good presence of mind to do a restart. It's really easy to just think like, well, I'm on my way, I'm going.
Oh. Frontside dressing ground.
Yeah, that's like a classy trick.
Very classy.
Do you salad grind?
I used to.
You know what you don't see a lot of is switch salad. Switch front salad?
Yeah, that's a Justin Eldridge trick. Actually.
Oh, wow.
Switch flip front salad, LA. Wow.
So Yumeka still only has 3 scores posted. Chloe looking for her 4th score. She's got 3 tries to get it. All of her current scores are solid, 6-8, 7-1, 6-9. Where does she go from here?
I think just one more medium trick. Medium score, she's chilling, but seems looking a little nervous at this hubba. That's what I was talking about earlier in practice. It wasn't the confidence, the dominating that she usually has in practice. She kind of danced around some of these spots, but
Backsmith.
that was a promising attempt.
What would the backsmith get, in your estimation, on the hubba versus the rail?
I think backsmith, the hubba along square ledge is a little harder than the long round rail, but it probably scores similar. Maybe a couple tenths of a point higher. Definitely not lower.
Nanaka. Wow, I just want to see that. She's going to be out, but she's going to have 1 try left to make an absolutely terrifying move. Aoi. Current leader. Trying to get rid of the 4.0.
Some nerves from everybody here dropping in.
Playing it smart. Lip slide.
Yeah. The only thing, she needs to drop the 4. I don't, yeah, 5.
25.1 overall score. She's in a good position leading into the final trick attempt. But first, Momiji Nishiya. She's got to land some tricks.
I'll say I've done some frontside salad grinds, and a long, mellow round rail is one of the scarier things to try.
Oh, that was nice.
I was sick.
It looked like it wasn't going to come together.
It looked wrong.
Little backseat. Let's take another look here. Whew.
This econ replay. Look at how pointed up that is. Yeah, that was sick. That should be a high score.
.3. She moves up into 3rd place. 19.6 overall score. Yumeka, 1/10 of a point behind her. It's gonna get serious in the final attempts, but first, Yumeka here just needs the .2 to take that spot back. Oh, kickflip front feeble.
That is so amazing that she has that dialed back like that. Kickflip front feeble. One of the more tech tricks we've seen today, but on the smallest rail on the skate park. Kind of see how that weighs out.
Worked out.
Worked out.
Huge score. So Momiji Nishiya in 4th. Chloe Covell wants to put some space there. She's still looking for her 4th score right here. She could shut it down.
This is really making her nervous.
That is a pretty massive hubba. Wow. She locked straight into the back Smith and then lifted it up a little into a 5-0. Does that matter?
That 100% matters, yeah. The more dip the Smith grind is, the better. And she locked in good, and then she just kind of lifted it up. That was...
Hovercraft.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a flaw for the back Smith, but fortunately for her, she doesn't need a ton to get into the second or first spot, so
6.7,
yeah.
Just enough to take the lead.
Just enough. I think she holds the back Smith all the way through. I think that goes up at least a half a point, maybe even a full.
Yeah, it really is. It's still
So now we re-rack before the final attempt. And there you go, Nanaka Fujisawa will be first in. And then Chloe Covell get to sit back and watch, have final say. 5th of 5 single trick attempts. Here in Tokyo. This has been a great event so far. We are just getting started. All right, Nanaka. Here we go.
So our last and final attempts to knock on the course.
Oh,
That's the slam you get when that trick goes wrong.
such a heavy trick to try. She actually got out of it a lot better than what I thought could have happened. But still, that one's gotta hurt.
Props for going for that trick. Putting it all on the line. Momiji Nishiya trying to move into the top 3. Can she do it?
Oh.
She doesn't get it done. Our finals are set.
Finals are set. Momiji does have, she's in the 6th spot. It looks like she's gonna be fine for the Super Crown. But just missing out on the finals here in Tokyo.
So that is Yumeka. There's Aoi. That's okay. Aoi is moving on to the final. Yumeka is moving on as well. She gonna do something? Save most of it for the final. Oh, she's gonna try something. Maybe a warm-up, a preview of things to come.
Crook nollie flip across, that would be such a high score.
So Chloe will take this heat. It's a warm-up for later tonight. Stay tuned all day long. It's a theme.
Battling out for that crook nollie flip.
So a great knockout round. Our finals are set. Lots of great skating so far from Tokyo, Japan. Come a long way to be here. Results from group number 2 of the knockout rounds. Covell taking it. Yumeka Oda and Aoi Uemura getting those 2nd and 3rd place spots into the finals tonight. Unfortunately, Momiji, Nishiya, and Nanaka, Fujisawa missing out.
Man, Momiji was my pick.
Start list for the women's final tonight. It's gonna look like this. Rayssa Leal from Brazil, trying to get her 3rd Super Crown championship this year. Akama, Coco Yoshizawa, Covell, Yumeka Oda, and Aoi Uemura. 4 Japanese skaters in this final tonight from Tokyo. That's cool. Monster Energy, highest scoring trick right there. Funa Nakayama with the 8.3 front crook.
Front crook to the head high drop. And the celebration.
Men on the course coming up next from Tokyo. That's the back of Jamie Foy's head right there. Daiki Ikeda. So that's going to do it for the women's knockout rounds here from Tokyo. Congratulations to the top 6. Moving on to tonight's final. We got men's knockout rounds coming up. Stick around.